These shapes can't possibly represent anything familiar. Or can they? This video is about changing perceptions, seeing new possibilities and viewpoints.
And we encourage you to dialogue and to share your ideas and to speak out, and to speak openly, and to consider yourself here today as equal participants.
But what we need to pay more attention to is how the different groups fit into the big picture and how we can work the best together.
I think there was a certain amount of apprehension from a number of us, me being one of them.
We are on track, but we have a long way to go to be a top market player.
But that's why we cannot set too high hopes. We've got to come away with a few simple messages for us and for the others.
Because the conference format and style are so different, the video at first may be unusual to watch. After all, how often is everyone in an organization asked to help develop future strategy? This conference did just that, and it documents a genuine sharing of beliefs and a process of honest, open dialogue. Here in London, England, global private banking employees representing the entire worldwide network gathered at a 3-day search conference. With them, they brought differing viewpoints, cultures and jobs from all levels of the organization. They exchanged ideas and views and broke down barriers in order to find common ground regarding the future of global private banking. And it's an important process too, because experts have found that fully 70% of corporate mergers fail to meet established objectives, largely due to difficulties of integrating different corporate cultures. It was filmed with a small handheld camera and no intrusive bright lights, so participants would be relaxed and conversations honest and open.
And if we in any way are a microcosm of this organization, that common picture that we came up with should be a common picture that will fit for most of the people who are part of global private banking.
Organizational consultants Dr. John Carter and Jan Williams led participants through a series of simple yet probing exercises which uncovered concerns and priorities. Everyone worked in teams, sometimes as a mixed group, sometimes as geographical regions or offices.
I think when management agrees to engage in this process, it demonstrates some willingness to hear what others believe should be happening in the organization.
And me personally, there's a lot of ideas that I'd never even considered, so it's a good learning curve.
Exercises looked at the past and present in order to determine a direction for the future of GPB. In the first exercise, participants examined the last 3 decades from 5 perspectives: self, Royal Trust, Royal Bank, global private banking, and society as a whole, to analyse the past and its impact on the present.
The 80s were sort of the epitome of access and
should we put down technology there?
In communication, in our ability to communicate globally.
Teams discussed and recorded thoughts on flip charts, then analysed results and shared their findings with other participants, revealing several common themes and experiences.
What are our values? Principally, family values seem to be very important. We have a lot of traditional Western values.
How do we differ? Our culture. Some of us come from various countries, but even within the various countries, we come from metropolitan cities or a small town or islands. Peter. Our language differs.
The values that we focused on were ones of confidentiality, the development of our staff, quality staff, quality of service to our clients, putting our clients first.
And we noted from some recent information that there's about $10 trillion coming downstream to baby boomers in the future, and obviously private banking's evolution will continue.
The entrepreneurial spirit, which was so successful initially, needs to be kept, but combined with the traditional skills in the core businesses. If you have just the traditional approach toward business, then you get stagnation. If you have just the entrepreneurial spirit, you go bust. But combining the two really should provide a good basis for the future.
The next task that we're going to ask you to participate in moves us into beginning to focus on the present.
This exercise focused on the present. Participants analysed the importance of various newspaper articles to the business of global private banking.
You developed the products, and they said you need the products, but have we actually got the distribution? I mean, have we really got the distribution capability? That comes back to your question, what's private banking? Isn't it? Because
it's exactly that. What's global private banking? We have to stop putting everything into it to make it profitable. My perception presently is that we've put everything into it so that we think, okay, it's going to end up profitable. But what is global private banking?
Indeed, what is global private banking? Participants had an opportunity to explore that question in detail and any other themes and concerns they had regarding GPB.
This is to try and pull together all of those external ideas that you've just spent a few minutes surfacing and whatever has occurred to you since you walked in the room today around what global private banking should be focusing on.
All participants were encouraged to contribute their concerns and issues around global private banking to a giant mind map.
So, issues, trends, developments, what's impacting that needs to be on this map?
Global private banking.
Leadership.
role of relationship manager. Role of relationship manager. Clear mission guidelines.
Clear mission guidelines.
Servicing the Latin American and Asian markets.
Competition between the units.
The more advantage of emerging markets with different products.
Local products for local markets, client segmentation.
Performance.
Under globalization, Europe moving east?
Treaties, with respect to tax treaties in the global scheme of things.
What's our core definition of global private banking?
Cross-sell and upsell opportunities.
Strong image.
Issues, trends and concerns were numerous.
So each of you is going to have a strip of 7 dots, which match the color of the dot on your badge, or come very close to it. You may not sell your dots. There'll be no horse trading.
Each individual was given 7 dots, color-coded to represent their area within GPB.
This is your opinion, your individual opinion.
Participants then placed their colored dots on whatever areas they individually felt represented the highest priority issues facing GPB. And soon the map reflected everyone's personal concerns and interests about global private banking. Then the map was analysed. Each group was asked to discuss what the patterns and clusters of dots on the map meant to them, what they were doing in those areas now, or plan to do in the future.
What do we want? What are people saying? Why have they put down technology? I mean, we've produced an awful lot of new things in this last year.
I think there's a feeling that the relationship manager just doesn't have the technology and the systems for him to be able to respond to a client's needs.
We're not matching it. We're not up to speed.
Action steps based on the analysis were presented by each group.
We could have spent... oh, sorry, my foot, Rich. We could have spent all day discussing these issues. Quite clearly, our 3 issues are quality of service, profitability, training and technology.
3 of the main areas we identified were, we felt all impacted on each other. And the first was staff, service and products, and the client. And as long as you have happy staff, you produce better service, better products, therefore a happier client, and more QPI, more QPI, more QPI.
Then we have to develop things that are according to International Bank. These things could be the networking unit. So each unit could be really integrated, looking for the whole interest of the bank, not for the partial interest of the branches.
We need better technology for our products. Products are more sophisticated. It's not only a GIC. It's not only a term deposit. It's not only a fiduciary deposit. We've got bonds, we've got options, we've got derivatives, we've got everything. We've got to be more sophisticated.
When people talk about corporate banking or retail banking, they know exactly what it means. Global private banking is something completely different. We're doing tremendously different, what are we doing? But actually, if you've got a spare 5 minutes or so, you might just like to do that. Just pen out what is your individual table's definition of private banking.
Searching for the common ground answer to what is global private banking, participants were challenged to share 3 business realities they felt proudest and sorriest about.
We're proudest of our history, our reputation, and our name.
This exercise again helped everyone to share common areas and break down barriers.
We are proud to use at least 7 languages in our bank.
Perhaps every office should have a dedicated terminal that we could tap into for information relating to what is on offer throughout GPB. It's perhaps been suggested an electronic version of the resource guide would be useful.
Sorry about the conflicts and the unhealthiness that appears to be in presence between the units.
We're proud of our successful integration.
We're proud is after the merger, Royal Bank and Royal Trust, we have become a bigger scaled bank. We are putting a larger pool of resources for common use, so we can enjoy the benefit of synergy.
The exercise on Prouds and Sorries guided participants towards thinking about future directions for GPB. Participants were then asked to dream about the future. The task? To prepare creative dramatizations about global private banking set in the year 2004.
The Global Private Banking Television News Network. Welcome to all our clients and staff around the world, and to those viewers who are joining us on CNN and Star Television.
Finally, summarizing current events. RBC is a very progressive company, and 4 years into the 21st century, they have promoted a female to the position of CEO.
Everyone watched the light-hearted presentations and noted their significant underlying messages.
The following year, we bought Citibank Private Banking Network.
Confirming client identity involves 2 checks, voice recognition and palm print.
Common recurring themes like technology, communication, growth, and opportunities for women were clearly evident.
Women in Power was more than just a unique one. It came across many times. 2 of them made them chairman or CEO. Yes.
Women in Power.
Women in Power.
Working together, groups zeroed in on specific topics. As tables found commonality, they merged with other tables to further refine themes, outlining issues important to the desired future. Then, as one large group, they posted their lists of potential futures for everyone to see.
Can we all move towards the middle of the room and cluster around the wall? Here's the job we have to do at this point in time. This is the opportunity for you to discuss and get clarity about the points on the wall. We are looking for commitment to these themes. So you need to have enough clarity about the statements on the wall to say, I can be committed to these, I can be interested in pursuing these, I believe these are part of the preferred future of global private banking.
I think we have to be prepared to be flexible in this global market thing. We can't just follow. We have to be flexible and I guess proactive, that word is up there.
GPB system network worldwide. Leading edge technology. Under that you have computerized translation. Are we agreed that is a theme and something you're interested in working for? 24-hour access. Client ID by palm print. Greater pay for performance. Advancement of women. Equal opportunity. Exactly how much time do you want to spend on this one?
Opportunities for women remained a recurring key concern.
We just don't want a token representation of women. We want to be able to advance. If we're capable of doing the job, we want to be able to be allowed to do it.
If you've got the right people in the right places who are making decisions, equal opportunities should be sufficient to cover it off. I mean, maybe we're saying we haven't got the people in the right places. Right.
And I would like to ask the audience here if there is anybody here that cannot visualize a woman in charge in an executive position.
I still have a problem with the advancement of women as an objective on its own, because I think it should be by ability and not because you wear a skirt.
At this stage, I feel totally demotivated about wanting to look at the future of these kind of things over there, because there has been no agreement about that. We've had no common ground. We've had a cop-out about talking about equal opportunities, and I physically walked out because I didn't want to discuss those other items.
This is not limited to women. This is limited to minorities. This is limited to men, women. This is, you name it. And I think it should say equal opportunities for all.
In the environment in which I work within Royal Bank, I don't see any discrimination against women. Not where I work.
Can you take in and hear that there are people here, both men and women, who do perceive that there is discrimination occurring, not necessarily in your area, but in Royal Bank as an organization, as an institution.
It was summed up when somebody said we need to stop discriminating against women. If there's a consensus that we are, then we should stop it. And that's what needs to be up there, perhaps, in my view, for the vision.
But we still have a whole mindset in this organisation which may pre-select, and that's my problem.
What I saw in the presentations yesterday is that people would see our future with a better future for women, more power for women, and also more power from people from all around the world. I think we may have had a policy, or pretending to have a policy of equal opportunities up to now. The reality is that women are significantly underrepresented from mid-management level and up. So it's an issue which specifically need to be addressed in our future, in our next 10 years, which I thought we were trying to say in our presentations. What I don't want to lose sight of is the other side of equal opportunity, which is opportunity from people from all around the world, no matter what language they speak, their culture, their religion, or their background. So I think there are 2 points.
I still need a proposal for some language that we could agree to that goes up here beyond equal opportunity for all, that relates to the issue of women.
So how do people feel about change attitude, coupled with the rest of the wording that's up there? Instead of
change attitude and eliminate discrimination against women?
No, sorry, it was get rid of the eliminate discrimination, because I felt there's not a consensus on that.
Okay, so the proposal is that the language be change attitudes toward women and equal opportunity for all. Let's test it. Yes? Yes. Hands. Good.
By now, participants had begun to reach consensus. There was agreement, and common ground was being found. The most pressing issues for the future were identified and agreed on by everyone in the room. Then groups discussed what actions could be taken and by whom.
To eliminate turf issues.
Yes, I understand that.
Eliminate what?
I shouldn't have to pick up the phone and phone you 9 hours difference, or phone you 14 hours difference. I should be able to find the information I need. If I want to phone you personally, it would be to refer the client.
When each group had reached a unanimous decision, their action plans were presented to everyone in the room. Every group's action plans will now go forward to be evaluated and prioritized.
We feel that there have been so many
requests for system support, communications, etc., technology in all sorts of areas, that this deserves a dedicated group.
So our first strategy was to implement a global policy for industry leadership in compensation and pay for performance in each jurisdiction. And the who was going to do that, the GPB management team was going to do that, and the when was going to be as soon as possible. Develop a clear definition of what businesses we are in and how they fit into the GPB network, who will do what from where.
To develop a seamless international network. The way we do this is basically to obtain commitment and develop processes to deliver and refer business to the unit of the client preference, regardless of which unit within the RBC network gets the revenue.
We thought as an interim measure we should expand something like CC Mail to all units. We wanted to see an established compatible software for all units, establish client information file, and begin using multimedia.
First off, we felt the global private banking definition has to clearly define who we are and what our roles are as individuals and then as units. And that's very important. Without that, it's very difficult to go about all the other tasks if the people just don't know what they're doing and why they're doing it. I should be able to sit in my office and see what Francis has in Hong Kong in terms of service, his hours of delivery, his pricing, instead of having to fumble through my brochures, which might be 2 years old or 3 years old. I should be dealing with a live information system which will give me his data, what's current there, what's happening there, so that we don't have to fumble around with the paper end of it.
New systems, we feel there should be minimum standards set with regard to user friendliness for systems, especially if we look at some of our systems being offered to clients as well. We don't want something so unfriendly that clients can't operate it.
We are suggesting that there be an international conference to change attitude and behavior toward united market, to eliminate turf issue. People at the table over here feel there's a lot of turf issue in the network, and that doesn't serve the client.
We propose to put together a task force to establish what attitudes towards women within RBC Jersey need to change and how they need to change.
We intend to share feedback on courses which we've actually attended, and again we're all going to do that with immediate effect. And we're going to, as a stakeholder group, commit our own time and effort to give on-the-job training to colleagues really throughout the course of the year. And again, that's an immediate policy thing, if you like, and it's going to be an ongoing procedure also.
Communication, we want to improve the network awareness, but in both ways. We in Geneva don't know the network, not well enough. We have to improve that. We've got to improve also your knowledge of Geneva.
We should, first of all, have a clear and concise definition of Royal Bank's global private banking concept in the Asian context. We should establish quality of service standards for Asian global private banking units. And standards must be used to measure against our performance accurately. And standards should not be always in dollar terms necessarily. Well, for example, for trust is not itself a revenue earner. Well, trust itself is an anchor. It can secure a relationship. It can provide additional spin-offs such as advisory and also discretionary investment management. So I think standards, targets, all these kind of things should not be only in dollar terms.
Focused on CC Mail. And we split this into two areas, internal and external. Dealing with internal first, complete availability of CC Mail to all supervisors and above by the middle of December this year.
To define, even in a detailed way, the role of the Suite 600s and the business development team in Canada, in Canadian distribution, the people's role into those units, and their relation with Dominion Securities, RBIM, RT Sales, retail network, and the rest of the bank in Canada.
About the human resources, this is a very important point, we suppose. It's very important here to select the qualified people without any type of discrimination or any type of preference.
And when it was management's turn at the flip chart, the significance of this really hit home. They got right to the point, indicating a firm commitment to act on global private banking's future directions.
First of all, on technology, we have made the decision to make sure that CC Mail or RTalk will, that 80 to 100% of our staff will have access during the next 12 months. So we will have some dedicated money and people to build our future technology. So we will decide to hire a few people and give them a mandate to work on future technology, trying to look at what we need 10 years from now and begin to build it. This will include, of course, having a survey at the beginning to understand what our clients will need, what our staff think we will need, and looking at what smart competitors seem to be doing. Human resources, we will issue a people charter, which will be a document on human resources principles, which will be endorsed by the whole of your management team. We will commission an outside professional survey of all of our GPB employees on career opportunities for women in global private banking and on attitudes to women in global private banking. We will have a uniform GPB induction program. By uniform, we mean there will be a local content, which is important. Understandably, at one stage, an employee from Guernsey need to be inducted differently than an employee in Latin America. There are things that are specific to your unit, but the front part has to be uniform. And I would like to repeat again that we have allocated $1 million per annum, and $1 million in 95, in 96, and in 97 for additional news training, which has not been planned at the unit levels in each of your budgets and plans. It amounts to approximately $1,100 per GPB employee. So hopefully it will give us some means to make progress on the education front. We've committed ourselves as a team before December 24th, 1994, and I guess there's some significance in that date that if we want to go off for Christmas, we would like to have that out of the way, that the management team will collectively issue a 10-page summary of what we are and do in global private banking. And it will become everyone's reference base of what is global private banking, what it isn't, and what we do and what is our business. We will be an active participant in the Affluent Client Project, which is taking place in 1995 and in 1996. It has started in Canada. It's headed up by Barbara Hare, and we will make sure that global private banking is part of this project, which addresses all the issues such as referral and compensation between units and compensations for sending business to other units. What we would also like to do, maybe sometime before the end of 1995, is to have at least experimented with an electronic version of the resource binder. And once we've done that, maybe we should get everybody back together and get another to-do list. Thank you.
As the conference came to an end, these thoughts echoed the overwhelming feeling of success.
I finally found out what global private banking is all about. Thank you.
And that's really what I'm going to take away today, is a commitment to keep in touch with as many offices and let them know what we're doing, and hopefully they'll let our office know what they're doing.
I think most of us already noted that despite all our differences, there are such strong commonalities running here, and I'm really looking forward to getting the common ideas together and developing a strong theme to go forward from here.
Me too.
These are the people who participated and helped forge this beginning. Please talk with them, find out more about the conference and what needs to happen next. Thanks for watching.